Military historian John Keegan observed that war is 1% terror and 99% absolute boredom. When shooting stops, the brutal waiting begins. Right now, thousands of American and Iranian troops are trapped in that exact waiting game. We are 52 days into a tense military standoff. Ceasefire negotiations in Islamabad have collapsed, leaving both armies frozen along the border, waiting for orders that haven't arrived. Back home, the aimless deployment is wearing thin. Military veterans are bringing their frustration to Washington, marching on Capitol Hill to demand an end to a conflict that currently lacks a clear objective. The strain is showing at the very top of the chain of command. Donald Trump spent months issuing aggressive military threats, but the reality of a stalled deployment has shifted his behavior. His public messaging has morphed into erratic, late-night social media posts at 4 a.m., detailing fictional operations instead of dealing with the diplomatic gridlock. To understand why this fog of peace persists when nobody seemingly wants it, we have to look past the surface-level diplomacy. There are three distinct groups trapped in, or directly profiting from, this exact stalemate. The first group is the soldiers themselves. Throughout military history, frontline troops have had to invent extreme routines to survive the psychological torture of an agonizingly long wait. During the First World War, soldiers stuck in muddy trenches for months on end turned to hyper-specific distractions. British troops started soaking hard biscuits in milk and jam to create trench pudding and printed their own satirical, handmade newspapers right on the front lines. The ultimate example of shared boredom breaking down enemy lines is the 1914 Christmas truce. German and British troops walked out of their trenches into no man's land to share chocolate and shake hands, their humanity overpowering their military orders. We saw it again when American soldiers compiled the Charlie Ration cookbook in the jungles of Vietnam, and in the agonizing 2-year delays of love letters sent back and forth during the Second World War. While the troops figure out how to pass the time, they don't control the timeline. The actual duration of their wait is dictated entirely by political survival back in the capital. This brings us to the second group, the Iranian civilian government. Right now, there is a severe breakdown in communication between the politicians in Tehran and their elite military wing, the IRGC. Key civilian figures who initially favored the peace negotiations in Islamabad have suddenly vanished from the public eye. Men who were the diplomatic face of Iran are no longer issuing statements or leading the conversation. In their place, the military has hijacked the state's messaging. The IRGC is using affiliated media networks like Tasnim News to publish their own statements, effectively dictating Iran's foreign policy and overriding the civilian diplomats. Compounding this is the complete absence of the supreme leader. He hasn't been seen in public for nearly 2 months, creating a massive power vacuum. Western diplomats are now looking at Tehran and have absolutely no idea who is actually authorizing decisions. The IRGC is utilizing this political confusion as a deliberate smokescreen, allowing the military to maintain total control over Iran's strategic decisions. That brings us to the third tier, the military elite. The IRGC operates as an aggressive, monopolistic corporate conglomerate embedded directly within Iran's economy. This chart shows the estimated distribution of Iran's economy. Current data suggests the military controls between 1/3 and 2/3 of Iran's entire national GDP, completely dwarfing the civilian sector. They use their massive engineering arm, Khatam al-Anbiya, to forcefully take over major civilian infrastructure contracts. In 2004, they rolled armed guards onto the runway of the new Imam Khomeini Airport on opening day to shut down a foreign contractor and take the project for themselves. Their most valuable asset is their strategic grip on the Strait of Hormuz. For the IRGC, any military de-escalation in this region directly threatens their primary revenue streams. When military tensions are high, the shipping transit fees and smuggling premiums extracted during blockades go directly into the IRGC's private coffers. The money completely bypasses the national treasury. If a peace treaty is signed in Islamabad, international trade normalizes and financial power returns to the civilian government. Because of this, the military is financially incentivized to keep the war forever stalled in a highly profitable limbo. This 52-day stalemate serves as a highly successful business model, functioning exactly as its architects intended. While the military elites secure billions in shadow revenue, the civilian politicians are losing their country, and thousands of frontline soldiers are left rotting in the dirt, inventing new ways to pass the endless time. Traditional diplomatic negotiations and Western economic sanctions face a unique hurdle here. They are being deployed against an armed force that treats endless conflict as its primary source of income. Let me know what you think in the comments. Can economic sanctions ever work against a military conglomerate like the IRGC? If you want more deep dives into the hidden economies driving global conflicts, hit the subscribe button.